Legendary Kingdom with another legendary episode. I'm running out of words to praise this incredible story. The reason why this video did not come out right after the episode came out is because I could not stop rewatching this epic episode. This is one of the benefits of weekly airing instead of the whole season at once, something that Netflix cannot seem to figure out. Rip to all the animes that are licensed by Netflix. One of many reasons why this episode is so epic is the soundtrack. The first 2 seasons were scored by Minako Seki, and the soundtrack was great. It had that ancient vibe, very elegant and grandiose. And for the 3rd season, they brought Hiroyuki Sawano. He is one of those dudes that will throw even the kitchen sink to make the soundtrack more epic. You might have heard his work. He scored the 7 Deadly Sins, which he did a legendary job. He also scored Attack on Titan. But too bad that the anime got cancelled after the 1st season, and Hiroyuki could not show his full abilities. And I will never find out how this post-apocalyptic story will end. The way how everything is mixed together in this episode is insane. The writing, the drawing, the adaptation from the anime staff, voice acting, soundtrack, sound effects. Fire. Just fire. I will continue to rewatch this episode. It's so incredible what the writer is doing with these characters. They are all given legendary treatment. In this episode, Mobu and Kanbei, previously Osen and Mountain Conqueror, Karin, Kanki, Johto, To, etc. This is mind-blowing. The writer is hitting the target again and again without fail, like it's nothing. This is insane. So the reason Mobu did not make a move was due to the strategist telling him that you cannot win other than this way. Even this tactic doesn't have high chances, since it depends on a lot of moving pieces. I'm not sure he would have followed his advice if the last battle did not go as it did, where he did realize that strength alone isn't enough to win the battle. Too bad that the legendary Oki had to die for Mobu to learn this lesson, and to make it worse, it was his fault. Oki did warn him. At the beginning of this battle, Mobu did talk to To. He did ask him, how do you think the battle would develop? And To, the Master Shoal, said, the battle is unpredictable. What is certain is that you became strong after Oki died, and I have always been strong. The tactician told Mobu that Sho country puts importance on honor, and that was the case on the battlefield. The army was lined up in a standard way, and Kanbei did take up his challenge. I did not know that the tactician is from Sho. It's interesting that we did not see him on the battlefield yet. I wonder how a battle of minds would be between him and Reebok. If you are wondering if the generals of the army did fight one-on-one in our world, the answer is yes, they did. But more common was for the champions to fight before the battle have started. This depends on the country and period. But there were armies who had champions. They were the best skilled soldiers, and would fight the champions of the opposing army. Anyway, finally the time has come for Mobu to jump into action. This strategy is great, but it doesn't have a safety net. If they don't succeed, that would be their end, and this war is over. I personally would have liked if they would have animated the start of their charge and make the ground shake. But since I'm not giving money to the anime budget, I will shut my mouth. The part where Mobu is about to clash with the giants and you hear the tactician speak is so epic. The writing, the visuals, the soundtrack are just insane. I will not get tired of watching this scene. With this strategy, Mobu, there is no going back. You will use every last one of your 4,000 troops as you make your way to the enemy's main camp. Failure is not an option. Release the power within in a grand explosion. No matter what, the single blow must slay Sho's commanding general, the very symbol of the coalition army's power. And when Mobu screams Kanbei, it sounded to me like a mountain is screaming. Turning his eyes white was a great choice. Up until this point, he was calm. Now Brain goes to sleep and giants start flying. And then they are finally face to face, Mobu and Kanbei. But how long will it be? Karin is heading towards them as well. And based on what she said and the things that she did so far in this battle, she will wait until both of them are weakened and then make her move. I am worried for Mobu and his army. Will Moton and Ohon be enough to stop Karin? And then Kanbei reveals some really interesting things about himself, especially that he has defeated one of the 6 great generals. Since Kanbei was young and unknown, maybe the general did underestimate him, since the fight did end quickly, and it was not a long fight where the skills and strength are showcased. But anyway, a win is a win. When they did start to fight and sharpened was flying off their maces and hitting their soldiers nearby, it made me laugh. The difference between Mobu and Kanbei and the rest is huge. This is a battle of monsters. So far it seems that Kanbei has the advantage, even though Mobu said I am happy since this is the first time I will use all my power. Kanbei is hitting harder, and to my surprise he is faster. Usually bigger dudes are slower. Mobu did strike Kanbei full force and Kanbei did block while being very calm and not exerting himself. When he did counter, Mobu was not fast enough to block the strike completely and did hit him on the right side of his head and went down. I think he is still conscious, but unless he has tricks up his sleeves, I don't see how he can win against Kanbei, since there is no superpowers that he can unlock. Anyway, the best line for me in this episode was when Mobu said to Kanbei, "You are not superhuman. You have just been damned lucky with your opponents. Until today." Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.